What if time got tired of moving? Not stopped, not broken, just exhausted. What if the force that pushes every second forward, the invisible engine behind every heartbeat, every sunrise, every blinking light, what if it simply ran out of energy to keep going? Right now, you're moving through time at full speed. You don't feel it. But what if one day time started to slow down, not because of science, but because it was tired? This is not just a thought experiment. This is a journey into what could happen to the universe, to life, to you, if time finally decided to rest. Before we dive in, let's think about what time actually is. Scientists tell us time is a dimension, like height, width, and depth, but invisible. It moves in one direction, forward, always forward. But here's the strange thing, time is not constant. Einstein proved that time moves faster in some places and slower in others. Near a black hole, time almost stops. At the top of a mountain, time moves slightly faster than at sea level. So time already behaves differently depending on where you are. Now imagine this, what if the engine behind time started losing power? What if the universe's ability to push time forward began to weaken, like a battery slowly dying? Scientists actually have a name for a theory close to this. It's called the heat death of the universe, a state where everything slows to a crawl and eventually stops. But we're not talking about billions of years from now. We're asking, what if it started today? The first signs would be so quiet, you'd think you were imagining them. You wake up. Your coffee feels like it's taking longer to cool. Not by much, just a few extra seconds that don't quite add up. You check your watch. It says 8 a.m., but the sky looks like 7:45. You shrug it off. Maybe you're tired. At work, your coworker says, "This meeting is dragging." Everyone agrees, but no one can explain why the clock seems to be lying. Animals would know before we do. Dogs would stop their routines. Birds would delay their migrations. Fish would swim slower, not because the water changed, but because the rhythm they've always trusted was off. Trees would keep growing, but their rings, which mark each passing year, would start to widen unnaturally, like the year was stretching from the inside. At night, you'd look at the stars, and something would feel wrong. The light from distant galaxies, which travels billions of years to reach your eyes, would arrive late. That's the moment scientists would know. The universe itself would be lagging. Then the big changes would begin. A second would feel like 2 seconds, then 3. Not because you slowed down, but because time itself did. The sun would stop moving the way it should. Days would stretch. Shadows would freeze in place longer than normal. The temperature would start dropping because the Earth's rotation, powered by the physics of time, would begin to slow. Plants would stop growing, not because of drought, but because growth is a process that happens across time. Slower time means slower everything. Your heartbeat would slow, not because you're sick, but because your heart is a machine governed by time. Each pump would take longer. You'd feel heavy, foggy, like the world was made of thick air. Sound would change. Lower frequencies, deeper tones. Music would turn into a slow, haunting groan. And light, the thing that moves fastest in the universe, would begin to stretch. Colors would shift, blues turning red. The sky itself would change color. The whole universe, every atom, every star, every living thing, runs on the rhythm of time. When time gets tired, everything gets tired with it. Now think about what this does to civilization. Everything we've built runs on time. Train schedules, flight paths, stock markets, internet signals, the GPS on your phone. All of it depends on precise, predictable time. Banks would malfunction. Transactions take place in fractions of a second. When time slows, those fractions become full seconds. Systems would crash. Billions of dollars would vanish in miscalculations. Hospitals would face a crisis no one trained for. Medications are timed. Surgeries are timed. A heart surgery that takes 4 hours might now feel like 8. Doctors' hands would slow. Equipment calibrated for normal time would give wrong readings. Power grids, which run on perfectly timed electrical frequencies, would fail. Cities would go dark. Governments would panic. Not from war, not from nature, but from something invisible. Something no army can fight. Something no law can fix. How do you declare a state of emergency against time itself? And here's the cruelest irony. The faster we try to act, the more time would punish us, because urgency requires time to be on your side, and time would no longer be cooperating. But here's the most terrifying part. Memory runs on time. Your brain doesn't just experience the present, it stores the past by comparing moments. When time slows, the gap between now and before disappears. You wouldn't be able to remember yesterday because yesterday would feel like it never ended. Emotions, which are just chemical processes happening across time, would flatline. You wouldn't feel excitement. You wouldn't feel fear, because those feelings require change over time, and change would stop. The most haunting question: would you even know time was tired? Or would you be trapped inside a single, endlessly stretched moment, aware of nothing but right now forever? Some philosophers call this eternal present, a state where time no longer connects one moment to the next. Not death, not sleep, just now, forever. But what if time's rest was only temporary? What if, like a person who collapsed from exhaustion, time could recover? Some physicists theorize that the universe operates in cycles. The Big Bang wasn't a beginning, it was a restart, a moment where a previous universe collapsed, and time was born again, fresh, full of energy. So maybe a tired time isn't the end. Maybe it's a pause, a cosmic deep breath. And when time woke up again, everything would snap back, faster than before. Days rushing by like pages in the wind, years compressed into feelings. An entire century experienced in what felt like a heartbeat. The universe overcorrecting, time making up for everything it missed. Imagine waking up from that eternal present and finding that 1,000 years had passed in an instant. The world would be unrecognizable, but time hungry again would be running at full speed, and you'd have to catch up. Time is the one thing every human shares equally, rich or poor, young or old. Everyone gets the same 24 hours. But what if even that wasn't guaranteed? What if the invisible force that moves your life forward 1 second at a time decided one day it had moved enough? Maybe that's why we feel it sometimes. On those days where everything drags, where minutes feel like hours, where the world feels heavy and stuck. Maybe time has always been tired. Maybe it's just been too polite to stop. But today, right now, time is still moving, still giving you seconds, still giving you minutes. The question is, what are you doing with them? If you made it to the end of this video, congratulations. Time kept moving for you today. Don't waste it. Like this video, subscribe, and watch what happens next while you still can.